Do I believe that Amazon's going to go down 94% or Nvidia's going to go down 90%? No, I don't. That is not my point. My point is that's what happened to them in the dot-com bubble. That's what happened to them before the digital revolution. That's how much they went down. And then if you'd had $1,000 in Amazon at that point, you'd have 618,000 today, and in Nvidia you'd have 490,000 at their highs. They've pulled back a bit since, but what I want to share with you, we're there again, and that is as we move into the health cure revolution. And I want to share with you who the stocks are and why I believe they are going to give you the kind of returns that Amazon and Nvidia gave you in the past.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
I received this email yesterday. Tiny biotech wins $75 billion patent from Scott Campbell. It says, editor at ITT, Investing Trends Today. And here it tells me a tiny biotech wins $75 billion patent. On March the 1st, 2022, a tiny biotech fund won a patent on a new treatment that can cut and paste disease in your body. The Wall Street Journal reports this company is going to transform medicine. I immediately knew who he was talking about because I've been following this for about the last year and a half. Our research proves that anyone who gets in could earn a 46,751% return, and that gives me a place to click. And then it introduces me to Dylan Jovine, CEO and founder of Behind the Markets, Investing Trends Today. So I went ahead and clicked, and like most of these, they turn into a 45-minute video. And at the end, Dylan shares with me that he'd be happy to share his portfolio and his other knowledge. Normally it goes for about $1,600 a year, but today it's on sale for $90 or $79. So that was my lead in. And then I got to thinking, I know who he's talking about, and I agree with him. So I need to share this with my subscribers. So let's dig into it, and let's find out just who Dylan, is that how you'd pronounce that, D-Y-L-A-N, is talking about. So if you want to know who won the patent and the name of the company, all you got to do is enter into Google winner of CRISPR patent March 1st, 2022, and you'll find out it's a company by the name of Editas. But let's look at the whole scope of this. These are the three players that were basically in this. There were two companies, or I don't really think, they're educational institutions. One is the board, and that's, I believe, affiliated with Harvard. And then the other one is UCLA School of Medicine, and two different sides of the country. The three players, though, were Feng Zhang. He ended up winning the patent, and as you can see here, he's affiliated with three different companies, Editas, Arbor Biotech, and Sherlock Biotech. And as the article will tell you, it's Editas who sits with the patent, and we'll get into that. The other two players were Emmanuel D. Carpentier and Jennifer Doudna. They are both the winners of, I believe it was the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize or Pulitzer Prize for science, for their work on CRISPR. What happened was Emmanuel and Jennifer submitted some documentation to the patent office, and then within a matter of days, Fang did the same thing. Fang went into more detail. He talked more about how it would be injected into your arm and how it would go into your genome and actually make the cut and paste effort. Jennifer and Emmanuel talked more about what was happening in the Petri dish and what the effects were. So that's really what I understand it came back down to. And so Editus is the one who ends up with a patent. Now, you're going to see, if you read a whole lot more, there's not a lot of respect for Editus. They seem to have won the patent and then sat back and said, okay, let's let the world go on and let them develop this, and we'll just collect a royalty on every operation or every use of CRISPR in the future. Because what these other companies have now gone and done is attached different cassettes, if you will, to CRISPR to make them more effective in different situations. And it goes beyond just the companies here. CRISPR is Emmanuel's association. I believe it's a Swedish company. And Jennifer is in Caribou, Meredith. I don't know that one in Entella. And I don't think Mammoth is public as of yet. So with that in mind, I've kind of spread my money amongst several of them, and I'll share that with you in a second. But I think you need to, I encourage you to find, I showed you in the beginning, the email I received, find Dylan's video. Because if you don't know anything about CRISPR and you want to become semi-educated, he does a wonderful job. He also sells his program, but he does a very good job of educating you and bringing you up to speed. So I suggest you do that. Whether you spend your $79 to get access to his other stuff, that's entirely up to you. The other thing I think you'll want to know is there's been a lot written about this, and one of the best books, where is it? There it is by Walter Isaacson. And Walter Isaacson did a deep dive into Jennifer Doudna, which he calls the code breaker. Now, this book came out before the March 1st, 2022 settlement. Walter believes that Jennifer is the queen of genome sequencing, genome editing, genome therapy. And I would tend to agree with him. I think she got a bad break, but I think it'll work out for her. And again, these people, you must understand, Frank, Emmanuel, Jennifer, they're scientists. They are not sitting in the offices of Editus, CRISPR, and Caribou, and Entella. They're working in the lab. They have teams that are working to find the best way to put this CRISPR science to work. Now, is it everything that Dylan says it is? Is it going to give you $45,000 return on your money? Will it take $1,000 and turn it into $1 million? I don't know. But let me share this. This is Walter Isaacson, the author of this book. This is his opinion on a 60 Minutes interview that I got. Watch this.
And scope and impact as the digital revolution was?
Well, I think the biotech revolution is going to be 10 times more important than the digital revolution because it allows us to hack the code of life.
So that's where this is all at. Do I believe what Dylan and what Walter is saying? You bet I do. I believe this is much bigger than the digital revolution. This is much bigger than electric cars. Once this science is put in place, and if you're not going to go do your own research, let me just share with you. I come from a family of cancer. My mother died of cancer. My father died of cancer. My daughter died of cancer. I believe that it is in my genome, That is to say that I have a mutation, something that went wrong over the ancestry of my family, and it's in my bloodline that creates a problem in my genome that if activated, it gives me cancer. And that's what killed my mother when I was 8 years old, killed my daughter when her son was 8 years old in 2014, killed my father. He lived a good long life, and now is in my brother. So with that in mind, I know what's going to kill me. What I also know is these people are developing a science that CRISPR is a natural part of our body. It's the thing that when you cut your hand, it puts a healing method on it. What doesn't happen now is nothing is attached to the CRISPR to go and correct your genome. So I have a genome deficiency. Someday in the future, either Fing, Emmanuel, or Jennifer, I believe, will create a needle that will go into my arm, and with CRISPR and the cassette that they attach to it, it will go into I think it's 30 billion cells in my body, examine them, find the mutation, and cut it out and replace it from that cassette to make it right, and take the propensity for cancer out of my body. Now, if you take it one step further, I'm beyond the age of where I can fertilize an egg. But my grandson is not. And my granddaughters will be producing eggs. They will be able to go into their sperm and their eggs, put this same needle, and take it out of their sperm and egg, which means then their children, and then their children's children, and then their children, all the way through the Grinkmeyer bloodline, there will be no cancer. Okay? So how does this all happen? It happens through genome sequencing. How does that work? Well, back in 2000, to have your genome sequenced, and what that means is they basically go into your body and examine your genome. Think of it as a ladder with all these different connections, and they find the mutation, okay, and they say to your doctor, hey, Kerry has a propensity for cancer, and he has a propensity for Alzheimer's, but he doesn't have heart disease or Parkinson's. Okay, let's put a combo drug in his arm that is going to take and correct that mutation for Alzheimer's and cancer, and it'll be gone, okay? And then, as I said, it'll be done in sperm and eggs as well. That's how this works. The problem is this costs a buttload of money. I mean, that we believe that this will cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 million. Well, genome sequencing, that was the examination part, in 2000 cost $1 billion. Yeah, $1 billion. That's with a B. Today, next year, Illumina and Pacific Biosciences thinks they'll have it down to below 100. That's the same thing that's going to happen with the CRISPR element. It's up around $1 billion because the science is so new. But once the science gets perfected and the FDA approves it, and insurance companies say, hey, it's now at scale, and it's cheaper to take the cancer out of Kerry's body than to give him chemotherapy, pay for the insurance for chemotherapy in the last 6 months of his life. It's cheaper to do the drug. That's where we're at. Now, does that mean next year, in 2023, Editas is going to start collecting a royalty from all these other companies who are doing the genome editing? Probably not. But Amazon didn't go from 75 cents to whatever overnight. It took about 20 years. I believe this will take probably 5. So the stocks are beaten up. Let me show you the ones that I hold. Okay, this is my Health Cure portfolio. And as you can see, it starts with Illumina. Illumina is the genome sequencer. They own about 90% of the market for the machines that sequence your genome. So they're going to be a big player. And the other company in that space is Specific Biosciences. As you can see, there is a big disparity in price, 192 here, $9.50, and that's reflective of their dominance in the market. I'm not going to get into it. One of them does long sequence, the other does short. That's an issue that you can look into in making your decision. But you can see I own about 20,000 there and 13,000 here. Now, the other company that's kind of out of the space is Abcellera. Abcellera I own in this portfolio. It is an IT pharmaceutical company. They're using artificial intelligence to help pharmaceutical companies find cures and vaccines and pharma. But it's in my Health Cure portfolio. So the stocks that I own, and we've been talking about, is Editas, which is currently at $9.20 a share. That stock's down 88%. Yeah, I've just taken a major beating on it, but I can't let it go. At some point, I will probably add to that as I see this worm turning, as I see the world waking up to the health cure revolution. This is CRISPR. This is Emmanuel de Carpentier's primary company. Beam is another company. They're using CRISPR, but their cassette is such that it is able to, the way I understand it, to get places, to get to cells that some of these other people can't. Thus, they will go after different diseases. This is Caribou. Again, this is one of Jennifer Doudna's companies, and Intella is also one of Jennifer Doudna's companies. Intella had a breakthrough in liver cancer, and I sold it at some profits, and then I just recently bought it back. So those are my holdings. Again, do I expect that I'll wake up tomorrow morning and these stocks will give me that 4,000% return? No, I don't. But these are long-term holdings. I like to say these are the stocks I've bought for my heirs. And I believe this will make them multimillionaires because, like Walter Isaacson says, this is much bigger than the digital revolution, or as far as that goes, as Web 3.0. This is breaking into the code of life. This will change the way we all live, and it will make a major difference in every aspect of our lives. So that's where I'm at. I encourage you to do your research and don't make this a major part of your portfolio, but expose your portfolio to it. Okay, that's my take on Health Cure. That's my take on the next big opportunity. This is how I run my portfolio. This is what Best of Us Investors all about. If you want to be a part of it, come to our Discord and join our community. I'll talk to you more tomorrow.